Wanted to talk to you guys about Fishinwithish t-shirts. It's a little bit of a story. I'll try to keep it short. But several months ago, me and Mike both went to a t-shirt company business. Long story short, I believe Mike contacted him like 2 weeks later, said they were busy, and to be honest, haven't heard nothing since. And I'm totally okay with that. I say that because my logo at the time needed work, and they did a little bit of work to it, and I okayed it, but I still wasn't quite happy with it. So since then, I fixed my logo the way I liked it, so I took it on my own to start making t-shirts. I basically have a Cricut that I can print out vinyl and then iron it on. Well, in the beginning, ironing them on worked, but then over time I learned that, hey, they're not always sticking properly, so that's no good. So I bought a heat press so that I can reliably fuse these to the t-shirts. And at that point, I thought, all right, we're good to go. Make some t-shirts, start selling them to the people. It's that simple. Well, like everything, there's always issues. You know, first issue was an iron, just wasn't going to cut it. Now, the issue I ran into is, I was buying Gildan t-shirts, not sure how you say it. They're not the most expensive t-shirts, but I think they're pretty comfortable. And they're supposed to be pre-shrunk. So I went with, well, just all I gotta do is unpack the t-shirts, heat press the logo onto the shirt, ship them out, right? No. So I always like to test everything, so I made a couple t-shirts for me and Tiff. We've been wearing them and realized that the t-shirts are continuing to shrink as they're washed and dried. Now, I know if you don't use any heat to dry your clothes, this probably won't be an issue, but with the t-shirt still shrinking, the logo does not shrink. So what that ends up making is a pretty wrinkly logo area on your shirt, because the shirt shrinks, the logo doesn't. It starts to wrinkle around the logo. To me, it's no good. I want to bring something that's quality. Everything I sell, I try to have quality. I don't want anybody to have any issues. And so far, knock on wood, there have been zero issues with quality or shipping or prices of any of my baits. So I'm very happy about that. Actually, the only remotely negative comment I had about my baits was when I gave out the free baits for my 4 years on YouTube or whatever anniversary I picked. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was a 2,000 subscriber thing. I can't remember. But anyways, it was like, I don't know, it's like a week later, someone commented and said, hey, I didn't get my free bait yet. What's going on with that? And I messaged back. I said, so the free ones were sent out regular mail. And I said, can you give me your order number and I'll send you out another one? And that person has not messaged me back. That's the only remotely negative thing that has been said about anything I've been selling. And I want to keep it that way. And so the t-shirts are no different. So my next thought was, all right, well, I'll just throw them in the washer and dryer one time, get them finally shrunk all the way, and then print it on the t-shirt, then I can sell them that way. Well, two things that went wrong with that. One, they shrunk a lot. Maybe I can refine the process by not heating them as much or as long. But then I'm trying to guess how much you guys are going to heat your shirts. And, like my extra larges turn into larges. And then you start thinking, okay, well, then I'll just pre-shrink all these shirts and I'll buy 2XLs to be my extra larges. And I was like, hold on a second. I have now went from an iron to a heat press. I have now bought pre-shrunk clothes that aren't pre-shrunk, that I am now shrinking myself, just so my logo's not wrinkly. And then now I'm having to buy larger shirts than I had to then say they're a size smaller than the tag will say. It's just a giant issue with the t-shirts that I feel like shouldn't even be an issue, especially when you're buying something labeled as pre-shrunk. So that's why you guys haven't seen t-shirts or anything about it, is because honestly, it rubbed me the wrong way and I kinda gave up. Something so simple should not be this complicated. Why I'm making this video is I'm asking you guys, would you be okay with a wrinkly logo? Do you feel pre-shrinking them to almost a size smaller is the way to go? And with doing that, the issue is, to me, it doesn't feel like a new shirt anymore. It gets roughed up a little bit, and it's kind of weird to me. I don't know. I'm weird with clothes. Maybe you guys aren't. I don't know. Yeah, that is the issue here. And I've lost my interest in it because, again, something so simple should not be this complicated. But anyways, leave in the comments what you think about the shirt situation, what you think I should do. But anyways, moving forward, I didn't want to just make a crappy t-shirt video, so I want to give you guys something. So, do you guys remember when I was throwing this stupid chatterbait double swim bait rig, just getting crazy with stuff last year, and I had this monster smallmouth try to eat it? We got that time. Oh my god, did you guys see that? So, for every 100 thousandths is 1 inch. So that would be 2 inches would be 20 inches fish. We have 350 thousandths past that. That's another 3.5 inches. So this fish would have been roughly 23.5 inches. That would be probably the biggest smallmouth I've ever seen. And then possibly you guys have also seen the absolute giant smallmouth I lost in the spring on my giant diesel minnow. What the f was that? Dude, something just ate this. Something big, but it wasn't that long. It just swiped. Was that a big walleye? Was that a muskie? I don't know what that was. Oh, come on. Big smallmouth. Oh my god. Oh my god. It just came off. Did you guys see that? Oh my god. He ate this 7-inch diesel minnow. That bait is entirely gone. But even when that bait starts to come out of that fish's mouth, look how small that 7-inch diesel minnow looks. It makes it look like a normal 3-inch swim bait coming out of its mouth. And those two fish were in the same general area. So now I bring you the third giant fish in the same area that I believe could be the same fish. I think that he could still be in there, he could still be alive, and very apparently still eating, and somehow the Ish curse continues to haunt me. You'll see. Just take a look. Got him. Ooh, this might be really big. This might be really big. I got him. Whatever it is, I got him. I think it's a giant. I think it's a damn giant. How did I do that? He just come off. You gotta be kidding me. Absolute giant. So yeah, that guy had to have been an absolute monster. No way to really convey this to you guys, but on my bait casting rods, I keep my drag fairly tight because I run 30-pound braid and 20-pound fluoro, so I can get away with having a very tight drag. And he was straight pulling it, and I feel like if he wanted to continue going down, he would have. I want to show you guys something. Let me get a buzzbait. I'm trying to think of why I sometimes lose giant fish, other than just being cursed, because I believe I have that curse. Buzzbait, good hook set. He was on, pull and drag, everything. But if you notice, he is kind of doing loops. When he'd come back, he'd run, he'd turn, he would do circles. And I think that may be the issue sometimes, especially with a buzzbait, that really gives that fish an opportunity to get unhooked. So let's take a look at this for a second. I need something to represent a fish's mouth. Okay, hold on. So, okay, say that this is the fish's mouth. He's coming to eat this right here. I'm trying not to hook myself. And because we know we're pulling upriver, he ate it. And say he decides to swim off this direction. And I get him hooked through the mouth like that, right? He's facing this way. Ugh, very sharp. And so, just imagine this being his top lip, or side of his top lip, and he's hooked like this. And he decides, and he did, he turned this way, and he decides to swim off in this direction, turning his mouth this direction. Well, what that does with me pulling, and now he's facing downriver, and I have this hook on his mouth like this. If he continues to turn that direction, this hook is being pried out of his mouth. And if he continues to turn, it's very possible he just rips this out of his mouth. And I think that's what happened here. Or I'm just cursed. I'm probably just cursed. What could I have done different in this situation? Well, on that first pull in, the only other thing different I could have done was walk back and keep more pressure on him and keep him coming this direction so that I can't let him turn. Could be a good lesson learned there. If you're in a situation where you're on the bank like that and the fish is wanting to do circles and run, that's no good if you ask me. And I let him have two. Well, he took two. I didn't really let him do anything. This is the kind of fish I'm after. I know absolute monsters live in this area. I've caught some really big ones, but nothing like this. This was an absolute giant. But anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.